The following program comes to you from the RME studios. All right, welcome into the Full Court Dream podcast. This is the first episode ever. It is a beautiful day here, Saturday in Napa Valley, California. I want to introduce my new co-host, Jaden Loritts. Jaden, how you doing, young man?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful, and that is because our first guest of many is one of my favorite all-time basketball players, Nimari Burnett, national champion from Michigan Wolverines. How you doing, Nimari? Oh, we just lost him. I was worried about why. There we go. You're back, Nimari.
I am doing blessed, man. Happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
First question I have for you. You're going to win the national championship. I was watching it, and I picked you, which we talked about, and you texted me back about 40 minutes after the game, which is awesome. What was going through your mind when that went 3-2-1 and that buzzer went off?
Just a bunch of emotions, especially that being the last moment of my collegiate basketball career. Tons of work being put in, and I know we'll talk about it, but a lot of things to, fight through adversity. Honestly, going back before that, from times I was at Prolific Prep and just my upbringing in Chicago, it led me to thinking ever. So I honestly just started crying as soon as I could, and it was one of the best feelings in the world.
That is awesome. So you brought up Chicago. It's my hometown. We share that. Jaden, it's your mother's hometown too. I can't remember, where were you born at, Jaden?
So I was actually born in Memphis, Tennessee.
Okay.
Derrick Rose was the reason I grew up playing basketball. But yes, my mom is from Chicago. So yeah.
Awesome. So let's jump into these questions. First, Nimari, I met you when you were a 15-year-old young man with coming out with your mom and dad, Brian and Nikki, to Napa Valley, California, out in the middle of California, an hour north of San Francisco. What was that like, leaving your hometown, Chicago, coming out to play basketball as only a 15-year-old kid so far away from home?
Yeah, just to make sure, can you guys hear me correctly? Because the Wi-Fi, okay.
Yeah.
Leaving Chicago, I had a life there, and it was, I was kind of set on going through 4 years of high school at Morgan Park was the high school I was at the time.
Mm-hmm.
A bunch of success in that first year. We won a state championship. We were second in city, which was like, when it came to the city, like, Chicago is a big basketball city. Some of the best high school basketball schools in the whole country. So at that time, it was a really big thing for us, and we played Simeon. We lost to them. But we're like, all right, we gotta rebound. We still got state, and honestly, that's the bigger accomplishment. City is for like bragging rights. State is something that sticks with you for a lifetime. So after that, we won a state championship. Then I played 15U at the time with Macaron Fire, and my parents talked to me about possibly leaving Chicago to go to Prolific Prep, and that was my mindset, especially after we won a state championship. So I'm like, okay, cool. They were like, sophomore year though, like after your sophomore year in Chicago, head there in junior year. So then we got a call from San Joaquin Memorial, which was in Fresno, California, which Jalen played for at the time, and just proposed the idea of, moving out the city and, just getting on like a bigger scale of basketball when it came to a national level. So I was like, okay, I like the idea. Obviously, I'm living in Chicago in my life. I don't really want to move.
Right.
But like, I think it would be best. And, as a young kid, just having aspirations to play at the highest level, you listen to your parents.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I did. And we went to Fresno, California. A complete life shift for me. It was super hot when we got there. I think it was August, or no, it was July. So in peak, I'm like, man, it's hot out here. I'm from Chicago. It gets hot, but only in the summertime, and it gets cold.
No, they're lying to you. It gets hot in December in Fresno too. It's not nice.
So then we lived there. We got an apartment. We lived there for about 2 weeks. And the whole time I knew I wanted to go to Prolific. my parents wanted me to go to Prolific. It was kind of a match made in heaven. They were like, instead of having you come for your junior year, we need you right now. If you're able and willing to make that move, we'll be happy to have you. And although it was tough breaking a lease and doing a bunch of logistics that my parents handled, that was outside of my control,
Right.
we Napa, California, and it was a complete culture shock. My first day stepping foot in Napa Christian,
Yeah.
just seeing myself. I remember visiting about 2, 3 years ago, and I'm like, Napa seems so much bigger as a younger kid than it does now. So it really was like a small town, and some of the best memories ever made there.
Well, you remember too when you first got here, the gym was still just becoming Prolific's gym, and the team had transferred from the Catholic school Justin Siena to Napa Christian, so it was that old brown walls and just crusty everything. Now they've updated it; it looks fantastic. Got the Dr. Dish machine in there. Well, now they're in Florida, excuse me, but it got to be so much better. Jaden, here's a question that for both you guys. You're at Biola, and your mom and your dad Brian are in North Carolina, and
Yes.
Nimari, you come all the way out to California, living so far away from home without all your friends and stuff, and eating and at least you have cell phones. When I was a kid, there was no cell phones. So, so what was that? What was that like?
Well, I'll just say for me, I think I got my first experience being away from home after I graduated high school. I did a gap year, and I did missions trips in Kyrgyzstan, Thailand, and Spain. And I feel like that was really hard for me. So by the time I got back to the States and went to college, I feel like I got a sense of independency from the gap year trip. So it wasn't as hard, but obviously still miss them and stuff like that. But yeah,
Well, let's jump back into the Prolific. Okay, you're
yeah,
15. You get a host family, and your roommate in the host family is Nate Williams, who I ran into yesterday. I mean, Nate, left-handed, can jump, I think, 40, 41, 42 inches off the ground, can drain threes. What was like meeting Nate, knowing he's going to be your teammate? You're going to be dishing him the ball on the break.
Yeah, being with him and moving into an unfamiliar area for me. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we lost you.
yeah,
We
yeah.
don't see you, but we can
I think
hear
we're
you.
back. Yeah, just being in unfamiliar territory, living in Napa, everything was new. And I just meet this kid. I mean, at that time, he was, I think, 17, and I was coming in being 15. He was either 17 or 18. And just a young guy from Rochester, New York, but like a big brother, if you will. But just, he was already my brother as soon as I stepped foot in the house and getting to know the host family. Like, it was a comfortable transition living with the host family because of him. And we had, great communication at my time in Prolific Prep. Me and him were boys. Like, that was, like, I was always with him, even outside of the host family house. So, meeting him, and then when we got on the court and seeing how like promising as a basketball player he was, I'm like, this dude is good. Like, he's not top 50, top 25 in his class. Like, super athletic, can
Right.
drive.
Yeah.
Like, you cannot stop him from getting to his left hand. And then if you try to stop him, he'll quickly shift to his right hand and finish with an athletic finish. And was growing as a shooter and became a really good shooter. But like, he spent so much time in the gym. Like, he loved being in the gym, and that's something that always stuck with me when I was growing up in Chicago. That my parents had instilled in me, and I just loved the game. So I just wanted to be around again. I wanted to be in the gym. So it was kind of like a match made in heaven as far as a brother, a host family brother. And then us, him being from a bigger state of New York and me being from Chicago, Illinois, we had a lot of similarities. And that was, I mean, I still talk to him. I texted him not too long ago, and, we have conversations. So that was like the start of something special and prolific, not only as a brother, but also on the court, throwing alley-oops to him. And at that time, I wasn't dunking how I'm dunking now, but he would throw it for me at that time, especially my sophomore year.
Yeah, I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing with you because I remember I've known you so long. You couldn't dunk. I remember when you got your first dunk. That was so cool. All right, we can hear you, Nimari. We just can't see you anymore. I don't know if
Yeah.
that's the Wi-Fi.
I think, yeah, I turned my Wi-Fi on because my Wi-Fi was not working well. Let me see if I can mess with
So
something.
we can hear you absolutely perfect. So I'll just keep talking while you're working on that video.
Well, I have a question that I want
Let
to
me know
ask.
if you guys can see me now.
Not yet.
Not yet. Well, something that I feel like I wanted to ask was, you got to play with and at Prolific such a great group of players: Jalen Green, Jordan Pope, Coleman Hawkins. Like I remember watching y'all's slam videos, all y'all's highlights. Y'all was it was such a special group. What made that group so special, and what was just some of your fun moments around them, I guess, off the court as well?
Yes, that senior year was one of the best times I ever had in life. Junior and senior year, I mean, sophomore year was a transition, but it was still so much fun. But that senior year, just traveling the country, playing elite basketball with elite players, with, in my opinion, the best high school team in the country. The on court was so much fun. It was just tons of talent, and we all complemented each other well.
Yeah.
You had, me and Jalen as primary scorers, but you had someone young and promising in Jordan that we saw like this dude can hoop. It was one day he got the best of me in practice, and I didn't like that. I was like, oh no, I can't let this sophomore come in here, thinking he's about to run the show. I was like, nah, I got to set him straight. But and then you have Coleman, just very cerebral, elite passer, wants to pass, very unselfish, but has tons of other tricks in his bag as well. And not to mention the rest of the roster of Mawad,
Yeah.
Frank, just guys that playing elite defense, elite rim protection.
Yeah.
That's so good that year, and it was some of the most fun I've ever had playing basketball. Just playing the right way, getting out in transition. Like when we wanted to lock in, nobody could score on us, and it was like a movie. And I mean, it became a movie in a way with the
Yeah.
film that Overtime did. So that was
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah, and I remember just watching all those videos. I always say that kind of generation of high school hoops, I feel like was the best ever, just in terms of like, I don't know, like those were guys that I looked up to. So by the time I got to high school, I was really just trying to lock in as much as I can, and I guess model my game after so many others that I've seen from you guys. So
All right, Nimari, we still cannot see you, but we hear you perfect. I wonder if maybe if you log off and log back in
okay.
and I
Let me.
re-add you, you might pop back in. All right, we lost him for a second there, so everybody hold on. Just me and Jaden here. I was nervous about this, Jaden, because Wi-Fi, you never know where you're at, how it works.
yeah, that's so true.
And I will send him another link just in case I have to do that real quick. I sent him another one. Hopefully he will pop back up here in just a second. But so far it's going very good. I got to keep remembering to look at the camera.
Yeah.
All right, come on, Nimari, hop back on here. Yeah, that team, which we'll get back into it with him, had some amazing players. Moat Mag is a professional. Here we come. I see Nimari Burnett again. There we go. There you are. I see you again.
There you are.
So, you were talking about the overtime thing. Man, we traveled everywhere, but we traveled everywhere with a media team.
Mm-hmm.
Food. Everywhere to the point your 18th birthday in the hotel. You couldn't even enjoy yourself. You got those guys barging into your room with the cameras and and your mother. And I love your mother very much. I love Nikki. I still talk to her at least every couple of months, and she's the mom. She loves you. She had all the presents and everything, but I mean, it was crazy.
She loved.
Honestly, if I remember correctly, they didn't know it was your birthday, and Falou Cisse brought that up.
Yeah.
So I always blame it on Falou, but he's one of the greatest human beings on the planet. So
No doubt.
we lost you again. Come back, Nimari. Can you hear us still?
Yeah, I can hear you guys. It lost all of us for a moment there.
Wi-Fi sometimes. Well, we'll keep talking, even though we lost a screen. But to jump on Jaden's question from that team, that was your 2020 team, was unbelievable. But you got to play with 2018, 2019, with Amadou Sow, a player who his senior year who's now over playing in France. Jordan Brown, All-American, and he was, local kid from Sacramento, where Coleman Hawkins was, and came to Prolific. And those kids don't come to Prolific. They go to, the big university. It's crazy. Can't tell if that's water or airplane. You still there, Nimari?
Are you there?
We hear you, I just don't see you.
Can you guys see or hear me?
We can hear you perfect. Just can't see you.
I've been messing with my Wi-Fi, turned it on and off. I usually haven't had any problems here with Wi-Fi.
Yeah. Wi-Fi is no fun sometimes. Yeah. Well, we can keep going. Hopefully you'll pop back. Voice, that's most important. The one question which I know is probably still bothers you to this day. We won, or Prolific won the World Championship the grind session. You and Jaden or Jalen make McDonald's All-American. We get the number one seed in Mexico, and then COVID. So you didn't get to play in McDonald's All-American. You didn't get to play COVID. How does that affect you still?
Yeah, I've always, dreamed of playing in those big time events. Ever since being a freshman in high school, 8th grade, 7th grade, knowing what McDonald's All-American was and, the work that you have to put in to achieve that goal. But also winning was a huge factor, and making sure you're, doing the right things in school. All of those things are factors. So that's something that I prided myself on, and doing things the right way. And so when I got that achievement and, the list came out, I remember it was on ESPN, and they released the McDonald's All-American list. It was just like a good emotion. Obviously, you still have goals that you want to accomplish ahead of you, but it's like, okay, I ticked that one off the box. What's next? And once we got, we won the grind session, that was a big time thing for us. We fell short the year before, so I'm like, all right, we got to win this year. And it was different then because COVID was starting around that time, and we had very limited fans, and it was like, we still got to do it. We still got to win the thing. That's what matters. Let's focus on the time that we have now. And we were matched up with Montverde in the Geico National Championship game. And I'm like, okay, yeah, this is exactly what we want to play. They had Cade, Scotty Barnes, like a bunch of future pros. So I'm like, yeah, we're looking forward to that. Hopefully, we can get past this COVID thing and, we'll be ready to go. Then it got shut down because of COVID, and it just seemed like the whole world shut down, and it was like we were living in a dark age in a way.
Yeah, the one thing I want to tell you, I got to cover the McDonald's All-America game in Houston a couple of years ago for when Prolific had 3 kids, Darion Reed, Aiden Sherrill, and Zoom Diallo. And I got there and I got my seat at the end of the court, and I look down and I go, they've got every kid who made the McDonald's All-American's name printed on the floor. So I looked around till I found yours. And that was so cool to see yours. And as I'm looking for yours, I see Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson. I'm like, oh man, this is like so cool to see, Nimari Burnett's name on this floor. But you never got to play, which is crazy. Oh, I'm moving my desk there.
Now, Nimari, kind of transitioning, you began your college career at Texas Tech and quickly transferred to Alabama to play for Coach Oates, who you got to know really well. And what did you learn from that program and from Coach Oates?
Yeah, during that time where I moved from Texas Tech to Alabama, coming out of high school, it was Texas Tech, of course, first, but Alabama was second on that list. So when I entered the portal and Oates and the staff, Brian Hodgson was the lead recruiter, they had contacted me. It was like, look, it didn't happen the first time, but the second time we want to make sure like we get you this time. And I already had really good communication with them, a good relationship. So, but the considering factor in that whole situation was the style of play that they had. It was up and down, fast tempo, They shoot a lot of threes, a lot of, the skill set that complements my skill set. And so I was like, all right, let me make this decision to play for Oach. I see he had success. He had made it to the Sweet 16. I liked the way that their roster was looking, and I could see myself, being implemented into that role. So it was like, all right, let's do it, let's work. And, we started, I think Alabama is one of the earliest schools to start their summer workouts. Instead of starting in June, I think we started like May 27th, May 28th. And I remember those first moments we were on at Coach Oates' house, and we were on the jet skis and stuff like that. And it was a really good, just an opening moment for everyone to get accustomed with one another. It was kind of like a form of an icebreaker where you're just like, you're having fun together, you're enjoying each other. Yeah. First upon seeing each other. So it was a great opener for coming to Alabama.
And what do you think was the biggest difference from high school basketball to college?
I would honestly say the speed and physicality of the game, those two areas, and it continues to go up, like even on the NBA level now. But the speed and physicality of the game, and you also have to think the game more without overcomplicating it. So those were the things that, especially going from senior year of high school to freshman year of college, that I necessarily wasn't used to. I always knew that I was very cerebral and I had IQ, but I've definitely grown in that aspect of my game, which later translated.
Wow. Yeah.
So Nimari, what came into the decision for going to the portal and go to Michigan?
Yeah, so after that year, so I had the first year at Alabama, tore my ACL unfortunately, and throughout that entire process of the injury, I was like, I'm not letting this injury define my entire basketball career, because it's normal ACL surgeries, and mine is a little different. Like I had an LCL and an IT band tear in that same ACL tear, and I remember my athletic trainer oh, this is going to be a tough rehab, and I'm like, I mean, what rehab isn't tough? It's okay. Let's go through it. Let's push through it. And I just remember treating every win like I celebrated every single win. And whether it was my first time walking, my first time walking without crutches, and then when I first started to jog a little bit, when I first started to jump. And so getting over that, just to fast forward, led me into getting ready for the next summer to get ready for the next year. And I was feeling good, didn't need a brace anymore, and was jumping more normally and just feeling normal, feeling like myself. But it's still like another hurdle, the mental hurdle that you have to get over. And I think I was over that. I definitely wasn't nervous or afraid, if I step wrong, because it was such a freak accident anyway. And that year I started off starting, and I was it started off slow, but I was beginning to have a really good year. And I remember we played Houston. It was December 10th, 2022. Had a big-time game, but fractured my hand. So it was just a load of injuries, during that time of the year. And I never quite got my footing. And that kept me out for 10 to 12 games. But ended up finishing the year off. We were a Sweet 16 team. I feel like we were at least the second best team in the country. UConn had won it all that year. I felt like we could have definitely gave them a run for their money. And the next portal era, I was like, I want to stay at Alabama, but is that what's best for me right now? Is that what's best for my career and being able to play at a high level? And so after talking to the staff, they had a plan for me and they wanted me to come back, but the plan didn't align necessarily with what, I envisioned and what I was capable of. So entered the portal and then went to Michigan. And before attending Michigan, of course, you have the portal era again. I'm like, I don't want to take that long with this process. I understand what I would like and what I do not like. I understand the play styles. And doing the research was very, very important, especially having to go through it the first time from Texas Tech to Alabama. So I'm like, all right, Michigan called me. Juwan Howard was like an uncle to me. I'd known him since literally I was 5, 6, 7 years old in Chicago. And there was, a few other really, really good suitors, but that was like the cream of the crop at that time. And that's what led to that decision to go to Michigan.
That is awesome.
And did you know that, or did you have a feeling that Michigan could be this special? I mean, you have 3 teammates that just got drafted in the lottery: Morez Johnson, Adam Mara, and Yaxel Lindenborg. Did you have this vision that, like, did you guys all know, like, this is something you guys could do and win the championship?
Starting off that year, for sure. Like, tons of things changed from my first year at Michigan. Different, like a coaching decision, the staff change, all of that. But once Dusty got in, my second year, and then he recruited for the following year, which was this past year, I'm like, this team can be really, really good. With Dusty's ability to get the best out of everyone and get the best out of everyone at their position and what they do best, bringing in a dive, somebody who's 7'3", 7'4", that can protect the rim, bringing Yax that literally can do everything on the floor, elite passer, very unselfish. Same thing with a dive, very unselfish. Then Morez, just like a physical force of nature who can guard multiple positions and can play at different positions when it comes to the offensive end. Combining that with me and my ability to space the floor and get out in transition and defend at a high level, we just had tons of weapons. So it was like that summer, of course, I put in a ton of work, to make sure that I'm at my optimal, but we put in a ton of work as a team on and off the court. And what made that team so special is like, okay, you see all of this on the court, but we're a bunch of characters, best friends in the locker room. And, when it comes to winning, that type of stuff doesn't get talked about a lot. And that's what translated to us, not just winning the Big Ten, but winning the whole thing.
Yeah. And Elliott, too. I mean, from his where he was at North Carolina, I feel like what he did at Michigan just completely rejuvenated his career. Like, he was such a playmaker, and it was exciting to watch you guys for sure.
No, most definitely. And talk about Elliott, people don't give him enough credit for how good of a leader he is. He was one of the people that kept us going to get to that national championship level. Like, super active in practice, super active emotionally, physically, verbally in games. Like, he was the engine that kept all of us going. Of course, you have my leadership, just being there, having the mindset, the IQ, and a few others who've been there years past. But he really set the tone for us, especially at the end of the year, where when we were in conference play towards the end of the year, and then we got to, the Big Ten tournament and the NCAA tournament. He was amazing when it came to his leadership, and like his unselfishness was spread through the entire team, and everybody just, fed off of each other.
Wow. You guys are in basketball. You travel constantly, and you switched from coaches. You got Coach May coming in. Was it like a family for you guys on the road? I mean, there's always practice, airplanes, video. Was it like a family?
It really was. I mean, you spend the majority of your time with these guys, like, for about 9 months. And it's like, for the teams, like, all 360 whatever college teams got to go through it. It's like, why not, put together really good, personalities? And I can tell this is what Dusty thinks, is like, why not put together really good personalities? And us as players, like, why not come together and have a chance to do something special, something that we'll be remembered for forever, and something that we will remember amongst each other, just the times and the moments that we had. So it wasn't even kind of like family, it was family. And I mean, I already know that when I'm 50, 60 years old, going back to Michigan, I'm gonna celebrate with those guys like it was just a family reunion.
Real quick question popped in my head after I was listening to Jaden's last couple of questions. You played for so many coaches, from Coach Billy McKnight to Joey Fuca to Coach to Juwan Howard and to Coach May. Does that affect your game, the way that coaches, different coaching style?
It definitely affects your game, or at least the intention that you put out there on the floor. And it was just at the same time you got to maximize yourself as a player and offer to those coaches what you do really really well. And once they see that, it's their job to maximize it. So being in high school and being a primary scorer and being able to score in different ways is gives your coach that trust to put the ball in your hands in those those times that matter when it's the end of a game of a big game. It's like who can I trust, who can I depend on, and these guys showed that time and time again. In some cases, being a role player, and I've experienced all that throughout my career as a basketball player. To do the little things, that may not show up on a scoreboard, to grab timely rebounds, to get timely plays, to make that timely screen, to make that big time shot. All of it is about simplifying your game and offering what you do best to that team, and combining that with the superpowers of the other players on your team to win. And that's the goal at the end of the day.
Okay, so before we jump into the NBA, only other question Jaden and I were talking about this the other day is, when did you finally get to sleep after winning the national championship?
Man, that's one of the best questions ever, because after we won a natty, we had to, and luckily they gave us a little time to sleep, but I remember not leaving the arena till like 1:32 a.m. Just so much media. Like the media was in there at 12:30, 1 a.m. And they could have kept going. Like our media team had to all right, that's it. We're done. What's the question? But it's something I wouldn't trade for the world. So after that, we headed to the hotel and we had a big conference room, and so just a bunch of fans that came out there to Indy to support us, friends, family. We just kind of celebrated there until like 3 a.m. Some guys left at 3, some guys left at 4, a few guys left at 5, and we were just enjoying that time. And I think we had to be up and out of the hotel by noon, so it wasn't that bad. We got a little bit of sleep, but I remember only getting like 4 hours of sleep, getting up the next night or the next morning and having to go back to Michigan. When we got to Michigan, we celebrated with the fans there upon arriving to the arena. And I remember, all right, now I have to move in a week or two because I have to go to Miami for pre-draft training. So now I have to get my apartment ready to go, and I gotta so sleep was hard to come by for the next 3, 4, 5 days.
Well, you just asked the question brought up a question I'm going to ask you. What is pre-draft training compared to high school and college basketball?
Yeah, NBA pre-draft training compared to high school and college basketball is specifically engineered to get you ready for the NBA and get you ready for the pre-draft workouts with the NBA teams. So I was out there in Miami. I had my agency, and I had my pre-draft basketball trainer, and then my strength and conditioning set up as well. So I'm out there for like a month, 2 months, gearing up for, you have workouts in May and June before the NBA draft on the 23rd and 24th this year. So it was really a short turnaround, and I had another event called Portsmouth Invitational for seniors, leaving college. And it just gives you the chance to play in front of more NBA scouts and just make another statement before getting ready for those pre-draft workouts. So it was very a really, really quick turnaround, but I was blessed to be a part of it all, and I was able to, get ready for the next step of my career.
Awesome. Before we jump to the NBA, you are a Christian, and your faith is very strong.
Yes, sir.
And Jaden has a couple questions for you.
Yeah, so I'm an aspiring pastor, and I absolutely love anytime I scroll on Instagram or TikTok and see athletes that are proclaiming the name of Jesus. How has your faith kind of tied into who you are as an athlete?
My faith is exactly who I am as an athlete. I'm glad that we get to talk about that, because enough people don't spread the word how it needs to be spread. and they don't spread the impact that Jesus has on our lives. I mean, he's everything. Without him, I wouldn't be where I am today. I wouldn't have overcome the adversities that not just basketball, but life gives you. I wouldn't be able to overcome it and get better and have the mindset to always get better and always take different challenges to rise and accomplish things. So I attribute all my success to the Lord. I attribute, even the failures to the Lord, because it sets up those successes and it gives you wisdom. And so just being on the basketball level, like, all the abilities I have is because of him. He's given me the blessings to be able to always have a court to work out at, to always have the facilities to maximize who I am as a basketball player. But most importantly, the Lord has given me the mindset, the wisdom, the strength to be a good person. And I think that's, what it's all about, especially here in our earthly flesh, to get the best out of ourselves, but also to steward and be really good to others, and to spread that love which God Jesus gives to us. So, no, thank you for asking that.
Yeah, and that's incredibly encouraging to hear, man. Like, just anytime I see athletes proclaiming the name of Jesus, it really, really just encourages me. And just seeing people in high positions that God has put in such high positions, just proclaiming the name of Jesus, it's super encouraging. So I'm encouraged, man.
No, and shout out to you too for becoming a pastor. I pray that you have a bunch of blessings in your journey, and for success to follow you as you go.
Thank you, and you as well, man. I'll be watching, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, so every kid who plays basketball has a dream of playing in the NBA. Mine didn't go very far. Everyone knows when they're going to stop. You are now played NBA Summer League. You signed a contract with the Toronto Raptors. You're invited to training camp. Talk about what that first feeling felt pulling over that Toronto Raptors jersey in Las Vegas and walking out on that court. And I can tell you, when I saw you and I yelled your name, and you, oh man, I almost cried. I was so happy and proud of you. But talk about how that feels right now.
Man, I appreciate that, Rick. But it was a dream come true. It was everything that I prayed for. Just the starting of my career, and being in that moment in Summer League. I've been watching it for more than 6 years. Like, more than I was in college, I was watching it when I was at Prolific Prep. Just seeing top tier talent playing in Summer League, and they already had a name for themselves, especially the guys who were drafted high, lottery picks and like that. But seeing those second-year guys come in, seeing guys who came from overseas looking for an opportunity, those moments at Summer League mean so much. And it's not just about what you do on the court. It's about how you treat those around you. It's about, showing up in practice every day, not only with your ability, but with your energy and your enthusiasm. So being in Summer League was some of the most fun that, I finally got the chance to do. And seeing a lot of familiar faces was fun as well.
Yeah, it was great for me to see Nate Biddle, who was the next McDonald's All-American at Prolific Prep after you.
Yes, sir.
And then I'm watching you guys warm up, and I see Malik Thomas, who played in the grind session at Veritas. So where are you? When do you guys report for training camp?
Yeah, we report for training camp it's like mid-September, and I'll be there at the end of this month, the new month of August, just to get prepared for training camp and just step foot back in Toronto and spend some time with the staff and stuff like that.
Well, you're gonna love Toronto. I've spent three or four different weeks there with Prolific in the grind session. The food's great. The city's beautiful. I love Canadians. Super excited for you for that.
Yeah.
One, I've already told you this a bunch of times. I'm so proud of you. You found the love of your life, and which is everyone. Jaden hasn't found it yet. I've been married to my beautiful wife for 39 years. Now you're going to be a father. Now, that is everything in the world. Do you know if it's going to be a boy or girl yet?
I want you to guess.
Honestly, I think it might be a girl, and I think you'd be the best girl dad ever.
I was going to say the same thing. I feel like you'd be a really
You're
good
100% correct.
Oh, that is so, man. Your mom must be going crazy.
No, man, I am super excited, and it's no better like appreciation for these times like this, because I've been blessed with an amazing wife. She's been through all of these things that we talked about since my freshman year of college with me, and so it's like it's no surprise to to her that I am like where I am and who I am, and she's been incredible, just being there by my side with me day in and day out, supporting me through the highs and the lows, and she's a part of why I have such a strong foundation, and we also share that same sentiment of worshiping Jesus Christ, and I think that's a huge part of our relationship. That I know, and I'm definitely blessed to build a family and to be a girl dad, man. I'm excited.
That's awesome. Well, we're getting near the end here. I don't want to take too much more of your time, but Jade and I want to invite you to come back in training camp, and we can do this again and talk about what's going on in the NBA with you in a couple of months, if that sounds good.
I would love to, and hopefully I got some better Wi-Fi. I don't know if it's me or whatever, but make sure we got this camera set up right.
We got to see you for the first 4 or 5 minutes. That's all that counts. We can hear your voice, which is awesome.
Yeah.
We talked about earlier. I want to start this on my Instagram page and our website. Every guest we have, and with Jaden and myself, who are your top 3 NBA players ever? I told you guys earlier my top 3, because I'm 63 years old, was Pistol Pete Maravich, the Doctor, Julius Erving, and Magic Johnson. Who are your 3 favorites, Jaden?
Okay, in no particular order, I'm going to go with Kobe Bean Bryant, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and Kyrie Irving. So 2 of those guys, I get the chance, hopefully, to play against very soon, and I'm definitely going to, aim to get the best out of them, get the best, get the best of them.
Yeah, I do. Do you still remember when we played Christian? We were just getting ready to walk out on the court here in California when we found out that Kobe Bryant had passed.
Oh my goodness, it was like we didn't know him personally, but we all felt the emotion of it.
Yeah, that was.
I didn't believe it at first. I was on my way to a dodgeball tournament, and I didn't believe it at all until I saw CNN reported it. I said, "This is unreal."
Unreal. It's still unreal to this day. Just like the whole situation.
Yeah. Jaden, you never said who's your 3 favorite NBA players.
Yeah, let me know.
Well, favorite, gotta go LeBron, number 1. Gotta go
sure.
LeBron. Derrick Rose, obviously, because he was the reason that I played basketball. And then I'll say Steph. In terms of favorite, he's just exciting to watch. So I'll say Steph.
Yeah, well,
I got a little bit of that Chicago love in there.
Absolutely. One more quick question, because Jaden brought up saying the king, LeBron James. Nimari, you're going to play against LeBron James. That's got to be crazy, knowing you're going to play against maybe the greatest basketball or top 3 maybe greatest basketball players of all time.
Oh man, it's something that I feel like I got to get a picture of him in the tunnel or something after the game. I got to play it cool. I'm like, yeah, I'm about to, do my thing against him. But after the game, I might turn into full fanboy. Him being, I was watching a TikTok video, just a little short story, just a bunch, like him going through tons of eras from 2003, the year after Jordan had retired, till now. And it's like, man, this dude is incredible. And, for those people that hated on him because he was having so much success throughout the years, I'm sure a lot of those people appreciate, his longevity and, just his impact on the game.
Yeah. Well, Nimari, thank you so very much for joining us today. Do you have any more questions, Jaden?
No, but I will be praying for your success. It is just, like I said, encouraging to see NBA players just following Jesus. And I'll be praying that God uses you not just on the court, but also in front of your teammates and everyone that you come in contact with. So
I appreciate that, man. Praying for your success as well.
Thank you.
You too, Rick.
Awesome. All right, let's try this outro music, see if it works, and then we will talk to you in a couple months, Nimari.
Yes, sir. Talk to you soon.